Hi everyone. Welcome to our webinar. Thank you for joining us today or tonight, depending on what time zone you're joining us from. So today we're going to talk about the transition from community college to a four-year university and how to make that transition as seamless as possible. So let's get started. My name is Antonia Estrada, and I'm the program coordinator at Uproot Academy. I'm joined tonight by Shantae Lipscomb, another Uproot Academy team member, and our guest for tonight, Mr. Hector Cuevas from the University of California, Merced. So I'd like to say a few words about who we are before we get started. At Uprooted Academy, we want students to feel courageous, confident, and competitive when they apply to college. That's why we are ruthless in our pursuit to alleviate the anxiety and confusion around the college selection and application process. And that's why we're here today. So after this evening's presentation, we'd love it if you could take a few minutes to fill out a quick survey. It's really brief. Your opinions and feedback are important to us because they help us improve future workshops. And by filling out a survey, you'll have a chance to win a $25 gift card. And finally, we'll wrap up the webinar with a live Q&A session. So please enter any questions you might have in the Q&A, and Mr. Cuevas can answer them at the end of the presentation. I know there were a few questions submitted prior to the webinar, so if for some reason those questions aren't answered during the webinar, please make sure to ask them again at the end. So now on to our guest speaker, so Mr. Hector Cuevas. So Mr. Cuevas is a higher education professional who has served 4 major research universities: University of California, Davis, University of California, Santa Cruz, University of California, Merced, and Stanford University. He has directed all aspects of admissions, recruitment, retention, advising, orientation, and career development. He has presented on diversity in higher education, admissions and access, career assessment, and on topics like the future of work and transfer pathways to higher education. He is a member of the National Association of College Admission Counseling, the Professional Association of Counselors and Employers, and chair of the Chancellor's Council on Culture, Anti-Racism, and Equity. So thank you very much, Hector, for joining us tonight. I'm going to stop sharing, and I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, so I'm going to find my PowerPoint here just for a minute. Okay, it should be, I just had it. Nope, that's Columbia. Hold on, I think if I do this, yeah, that should work better. Do that again. Just had it earlier. This is, here we go. Let me get this into a slide view mode. Okay. Hold on. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start. As I was introduced, yes, I am Hector Cuevas, Associate Director of Admissions for UC Merced, but I'm very, very familiar with transfers, transfers going from 2-year colleges to 4-year colleges, and also how you start thinking about transferring. Because I'd like to present you a way that you will transfer successfully, okay? Which begins with you. And transferring is a big deal in your life. I myself was a transfer student. I was in high school. I was tracked in different shop classes. I had the opportunity to take wood shop, metal shop, ceramic shop, a small engine shop, large engine shop, drafting. So I wasn't geared to college, and I was already thinking of a job, and that was either to be a mechanic like my dad, who immigrated from Mexico, but can fix cars like anybody else, or I had a I could work in a produce market as a journeyman clerk. I had no idea I was going to go to college until someone talked to me about transferring. They talked to me about, hey, you can come and take a class. Right now, it's free. You can have anything, these classes, these majors. So anyways, I took them up on it and started taking just a couple of classes while I was working full time. I was trying to help my dad buy a house. So it is a big deal. But this is what I found out. It's transformative. It will change your life for the better. After 2 classes, then I took 3, then 4, then 4 more, and then pretty soon I was in a major. I majored in history. I really enjoyed civil rights history of all kinds, and decided that I could transfer to a 4-year college. You will grow in positive ways. I can't say this enough. It will change your life in very positive ways. And you'll want to continue to learn new things. It took me about 3 years before I could transfer, but I did. It not only opened a continuum of career opportunities, but I went on to graduate school and got a graduate degree, a master's degree in counseling, which is where I really found that I fit and did a lot of things in educational counseling. And you will achieve your academic and professional career goals, whatever those are. Once you get to a 4-year school, these things will take off. You're going to go from introductory courses to upper division, in-depth courses in your field of study. You're going to learn how to do some research. You're going to have opportunities to work with a faculty member. And at the end, you're going to have that diploma, which you have worked so hard for. But you'll also position yourself to achieve a professional career, that first professional job out of college, that first professional job, not only out of college, but also perhaps going to graduate school, law school, or medical school, or business school. Lots of options there for you. You can create your own future. You can major in one thing, minor in another. You can double major. There's a lot of majors that have come together as interdisciplinary studies, but they will help you achieve your goals. In the community college, those first 2 years, if you focus on your goals, you will become the hero of your story. You will do great things for the college education. You will ensure access, community colleges ensure access for all people to improve the quality of of their life and create bright futures for themselves, their families, and their communities. And I can't emphasize this enough because I've seen it. I've seen it in myself. I've seen it in my friends. We have faculty that have PhDs that started at community colleges. You know, people that are celebrities that started at community college. Dolores Huerta of United Farm Workers, a woman who wrote the Joy Luck Club, Amy Tan, famous author, and more. Athletes and others have started at community colleges. Where you end is where you will take yourself with this education and this confidence. Things to look for in transferring. So first of all, you do really think about, why do I want to transfer? Are you good with just a 2-year degree? You might have a technical certificate that might serve you just as well, if that's what really drives you. But if you're looking to transfer, you need to look carefully as to where you're going to go. I can say statistically, the majority of Stanford transfer students go to their closest four-year college. It's a geographical thing. You don't go too far. And that's a trend that it's been acceptable and it's been happening in a long time. But look at the colleges in your state. Are they state colleges? Are they universities where they do research? Are they private schools? What kind of colleges are there? But are they accepting? Are they friendly? Are they diverse? Is that important to you? Do they have the majors you want? Okay. Now, not every career is tied to every single major. People are doing careers and majoring in other things, but they have other skills and added some learning later on, or maybe another degree. You want to be able to afford college. I'm here to tell you that if you transfer wherever you go, you can afford college. Financial aid has grown in ways that if you're under a certain income, low income, you can get guaranteed at some schools a full ride, your tuition and room and board paid. Others, like college I work at, has very generous grants to offset the cost of college and the offset of contributions by your parents, and those work out well. I'm going to talk a little bit about student success support. I don't want to bore you with this, but it's important because one of the things, if you do go to a four-year college, it would behoove you to take advantage of belonging to clubs and organizations, research opportunity centers, go visit the career advising centers, and sports and activities. Why? These things matter because you'll engage other students, but that's where you're going to build the stories you can talk to employers about, the stories of the skills that you gain in starting that club, or being an officer in that organization, or creating something through undergraduate research. Those success stories that you will have, you will get outside the classroom, internships and being part of clubs and organizations that will give you the leadership skills, the communication skills, the analytical skills, the problem solving, deep thinking, thinking on your feet skills. So look for organizations. They look like fun because most of the photos, everybody's having fun in those photos, and they are, but they're different types. And if there's not one there you like, start your own. That happens all the time. It doesn't, you just need 3 students to act in certain officer positions, okay? Look for a diverse campus. That's my preference. Hopefully that's your preference too. Where you feel there are communities that are like you, communities that offer information, advice, and support, and traditions and beliefs that are part of your community. And I would look for that in a campus these days, because that's what's going to get you through. Yes, and here's a photo of over 200 clubs and organizations at a campus that I work at, but some of them have 700, some of them have more or less. But again, important part is this is where you do 2 things. You meet other students that get you. You meet other students that become friends. You meet other students that you can study with and be a study buddy with. You can meet students that'll introduce you to things you never even seen or thought about. So you can do some of the things in these photos. I mean, there are dance groups and there are fraternities and a
Oh,
chess
I'm
club.
sorry to interrupt you, but you mentioned the photo, but I think you're not sharing your screen then with us.
Are you not seeing any of the
Yeah.
photos? Okay. Do I have permission to show to share?
Yeah, you do.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to Zoom. Oh my goodness, let's see. Why can't I? Oh, here we go. That's upside. Are you seeing these photos?
No, we're not seeing the, no, we're seeing you, but we're not seeing the
Nothing I'm
presentation.
showing. Okay. All right. Let me start this again. And I don't know why it's not coming up on your share screen. Let's see.
Oh, you're not getting the share screen?
That's what let me go to my Zoom. Darn, this is embarrassing.
Oh, no, that's all right. No, I think we're following along perfectly, but you mentioned photos, so I thought,
Okay, so I'm on now. Now let me go back to where I was. Home. No.
but do you
And
see the share screen at the bottom?
viewing today's upcoming meetings, let's see. No, I'm not. Okay, I think part of it is, why is this not working? Let's see. Okay,
If not, I can share the presentation
okay, if
and then
you
you
could,
can, yeah,
yeah, it's not coming up on my end.
okay.
That's unusual.
Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes technology doesn't work like we think it will, so,
Okay, yeah, bring it up.
let me find it and,
Next.
here, let's see. Or
It-
can you put the presentation in the link? Oh, yeah, here it is, here it is. Let me find it. Sorry about that, folks.
No, no, it's
Sometimes
okay.
we all know technology does not work when we want it to.
I know.
Okay, here we are. Okay, so you were with the photo. Um, let me see, things to look for in transferring. We've done
Yeah,
that.
you could start there and I can,
Okay. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, hold on. Okay, and let me see. Um, if I can share. Okay.
see.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I have to, maybe if you can put the presentation on the, it won't, I have to log in to Box to do that.
Okay,
So,
okay.
yeah,
Let's just take a minute.
yeah,
We'll get back to it.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, sometimes, that's technology for you.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fine.
Um, maybe if, you should have sharing, be able to share. We've never had that issue, but, why don't I make you a co-host and see if that,
Okay, that would
yeah,
work. Okay, so
yeah.
let
Because as
me,
a panelist, you should be able to share. That's not an issue.
okay, all right, so let
Maybe.
me go to
You see
share.
it now?
Okay, so let me, where's the share? Right here, share screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so now,
Okay, got that solved. Yeah.
what am I'm not looking at my screen, I'm looking at. Okay, hold on. I'm not sure what this, wait, here we go. The screen I'm looking at.
Or if that doesn't work, just feel free to continue as you were. I think we were all following along perfectly. So,
Okay, all right, let
yeah,
me,
we'll
let
just
me, I'm
improvise.
gonna open up my PowerPoint real quick though, see if I can get it on, shared screen. New, here we go. Yes. Okay, so all right, come on up. Um, yeah, I can't access my darn it. You couldn't see anything that I was showing you at all, huh?
No, but I think we're following along, so please just continue. I just wanted,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
sometimes just tech, we just, just doesn't, we'll go with the flow. It just, sometimes it
Okay,
just,
okay,
we
okay,
all know we've all had tech issues of our own.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. Well, let me
Yes,
find
please
that
follow
part.
along, yes.
Okay. Uh, okay. Benefits. Okay, let me open that one up. Here it is. Okay, I got it. I opened it up. Okay, so I was talking about things to look for in transferring. Things like a accepting, friendly, diverse campus, a campus where you feel you belong, that you feel comfortable there, and there are others there that you can relate to. A campus that has the undergraduate majors and the financial aid, and the student success support. Okay. And again, I talked about why clubs and organizations are important, because that's your life outside classroom. That's where you can develop those experience and skills that turn into stories that you can share with employers or graduate schools in interviews. I have a slide here you can't see. I'm sorry. It's called professional development. It's two young college students, one in a suit and a young woman in a business suit, and they belong to a pre-business society. But next to them, it shows all the employers that come and recruit. Apple, Box, NASA, Google, Goldman Sachs, and Pitzer. It's just, there's probably 30 companies here that are interested in these recent graduating college students, because they have those soft skills and some technical skills. And that's what you need to cultivate outside of classroom when you transfer. How do you transfer? Let's say you found a community college that, for all reasons, you wanted to go there. Getting in is probably not a problem. Some have fees and some don't. But once you get in and you want to transfer, almost universally, everywhere you're going to apply, you're going to have 60 semester units or 9 quarter units of transferable credit. Your school catalog should articulate or should show you which courses are transferable to that 4-year school. It could be a state college, a university, public university, or a private school. Then you really need to look at the GPA required for that major. And sometimes, you surprise yourself, they're not as high as, one would think. But you want to strive for the GPA for that particular major in those transferable courses. I've seen them as 2.8, 3.0, 3.2, 3.4. It depends on the major. And then universally, most colleges for transfer students will only accept a limited number of pass, no pass grades. So don't exceed that. You can do a few, but be reasonable and check the school you're transferring to see what their limit is. All universities, when you transfer, want you to have a complete year of college level English and mathematics. Mathematics that has algebra as a prerequisite. English, college level English. They're 1 and 2, sometimes they're 10 and 11. They're all different, 1A, 1B, but at least 1 year of both. And you need to complete the major prep courses by the end of the spring term prior to the fall enrollment. So what do I mean by major prep courses? Every major, whether it's history or business or chemistry or biology or electrical engineering or computer science, wants you to take courses in those first 2 years. They'll prepare you for the in-depth courses you get as a junior and senior, because they're going to be more in depth in the field that you're studying. The major preparation courses or prerequisites, a prerequisite to take a higher level course, is going to give you the fundamentals you need to understand the next course up. In most colleges, community colleges, have it very well marked which course will be accepted as part of the major in history or in engineering or in biology. And you need to look at that carefully. If you figure that out, say, okay, yeah, and to be quite frank, the majors don't require a lot of courses. The ones that do are the sciences and engineering. But you major in the social science, humanities, arts, you're going to find that, yeah, they're only requiring 4 or 5 courses, you know. And the other courses you need to transfer to the other part of the 60 are going to be just courses you want to take or need to take, or they're going to count, they're transferable, and they supplement your learning. Okay. And again, some majors may require a higher GPA. For example, we have a public health major, and it requires a 3.0. Yeah, you can get into a management business economics major and have a 2.4 or 2.8 for out of resident students. So that is how you prepare for transferring to a 4-year college from a community college. The other thing that I should talk about is the timeline. Timelines tend to change a little bit, but in California, and you can check in your city or state, your local state college or your local university, but for a state college here in California, October 1st, you can start your application to free application for federal financial aid. The first thing they want you to do is to apply for financial aid. It's a free application. Supposedly they made it better. This year they had a little snafu getting them out in time, and we're going to release them a couple of weeks late. In November 1st to November 30th, filing period for fall is the application deadline. Now, our application deadline is November 30th for coming in as a transfer student in fall. It opens October 1st. Others have rolling deadlines, or others have later deadlines. So check the school. Every once in a while, we'll extend the deadline. we may feel we need more applications, and we'll say, okay, we're going to extend it from November 30th to January 1st. And that's okay. March 2nd is the deadline to submit your FAFSA, or what they call CADA. That's for a DREAM Act. That's for what they call B540 students, undocumented students. In California, they can get financial aid. If you're in California, then you would file a CADA. It may not be at other states. In March or April, you check the portal will find your fall admissions decision. Most colleges try to notify students that they got into that four-year college somewhere in the early part of March. And sometimes they go a little later. For transfer students, sometimes they go a little later. And you may find out like mid-March, April, if you're a transfer student. And then there's majors. And there's majors in social sciences, humanities, and arts, from anthropology, cognitive science, to global art studies, econ, critical race and ethnic studies, and then things like philosophy, management and business, psychology, public health, sociology. Our five favorite majors for transfers are psychology, management and business economics, data science, and public health and economics. But that can differ, and those don't have to be your top five. But each college has a school of social sciences that'll have those, and one of humanities, they'll have the humanities majors and the art majors, and then the natural science majors. And they can go into applied math, biological math, sciences, chemistry, environmental system science, physics, numerous of courses. And then there are schools of engineering. Today, the field of engineering is really changing. It's all driven by AI in each of these fields: bioengineering, civil engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, environmental engineering, material science and engineering, chemical engineering and mechanical and aerospace engineering, and electrical. I did mention electrical. So these are some of the standard engineering. What do they require as major prep? And that's two things that you need to think about. They'll require single variable calculus, multivariable calculus, linear algebra, differential equations, computational, some other computational sciences as a freshman or sophomore, in chemistry up to a certain level. And then pretty much that's all the community colleges offer. If there's others, they'll let you take them at the college transfer. But you need to do well in these, because these are strong foundation courses, and particularly the mathematical courses. And that's something that you have to decide if you like it, you're good at it, and you can do some things with it and go on to some good careers in lots of areas that use STEM graduates. And the last thing I'd like to talk to you about, or one of the last things, is that you can afford college. again, I just want to go apply for financial aid by the deadline that you're given. Submit the FAFSA. It's easier to use. It's the free application for financial aid, or the California DREAM Act if you're in California. They said by March 2nd, they've delayed that. If there's other grants that your state offers, look for them. Some of these colleges have their own state or their own grants for low-income students or even middle-class students. We know that 89% of the students that go to our college receive financial aid. On the average, they receive $21,447 in gift aid, which they don't have to pay back. That pays for tuition and room and board and things like that. Didn't cover it all, but that covered a good amount. And again, a slide you can't see about college costs. It shows that if you went to one of your local state colleges, the tuition is going to be a lot less. And if you go to a major research university, the tuition is going to be maybe triple. But again, don't let that scare you that you can't afford college, because even with some of the larger tuitions, they offer larger grants. And if you qualify, you're eligible for grants. Grants are great because you don't have to pay them back. Sometimes you get work study. You just work to use that money up that they give you. And then there's loans, unsubsidized and subsidized. Unsubsidized loans are loans where interests accrue that you can pay now or pay later. Subsidized loans are when interest does not accrue, and then you start paying it when you graduate from college. So you need to look at your financial aid award letter carefully. There might be a Pell Grant from the federal government, a college grant from the college that you're attending, and so on and so forth. The one piece of advice I have, if your parents have medical insurance, my piece of advice is get a waiver so you don't have to buy the university health insurance, which is like $2,500. And that's $2,500 you save because you have your own insurance. And then you need to make a decision if you want to live on campus at a four-year school. Our campus guarantees housing for transfer students for 1 year, while for first-year students, they get guaranteed 2 years. Check the policies. Do they have housing for transfer students? Most do. In fact, we're going to be building more. And then you want a safe community. You will notice on university campuses, as we have, you'll see this blue emergency lights for on-call police. You can even call them to give you an escort to your car to feel safe. And that's what we have in at least all the University of California campuses and Cal State campuses, because we feel that we have to have a safe community, and students need to feel safe, taking classes at night, going and doing activities with the organizations at night, going to dances and whatnot. And we have a police presence on our campus. We have a police department with the University of California. So hopefully you can look for a safe community. And steps for success. Learn about yourself. you may know right now exactly what you want to major in, what your career should be, what you're going to study at the community college, what you're going to study. But if you don't, there is a very short 20-minute free assessment tool called the O-Net Interest Profiler. And you can take that and it gives you 3 codes based on your personality. The strongest code is the first code that relates more to your personality, and other codes tangentially relate to your personality, but they make sense. 20 minutes, it's free, it's the government code. That maybe just gets you thinking about what your career interest should be. You can explore careers in the Occupational Outlook Handbook. And so that's another thing that you want to do for success. Think about what you want to do. Think about why you're in college. Think about all the things you can do in college. And I think that will serve you well. I'm at the end of my presentation and would like to take questions. I am so sorry that my PowerPoint didn't show. I kind of liked it.
No, but we were able to follow along perfectly.
I'm gonna,
But yeah, sometimes we got to roll with it because sometimes it happens to everyone at some point.
I'm gonna send
But
it
if
to
people
you.
have any questions, please put them in the chat. I have a question. Well, if anyone is thinking about their own questions. So I'm a high school senior. I'm gonna go to community college. I've decided. So my question is, when and where do I go to ask about to get transfer advising? Like, when would be a good time to start, and where do I go? Like,
Okay. First thing, go and meet with a counselor at the community college. Okay. First of all, apply for the community college, and then
Step
they'll
one.
let you see a counselor. And they have regular counselors and transfer counselors. But they will, if that's your plan, then they will put your educational plan, the courses you need to take together so that when you're done, that transfer center is going to say, you've got everything you need, apply and you'll get in.
Okay.
But you need to see a counselor.
Okay. And when should a student start that process? Like, as soon as they
First,
step foot on campus, or?
yeah, first thing, fill the application.
Mm.
Second thing, make an appointment with a counselor. And usually they have that process listed somewhere. So they can help you with that educational plan. And they'll make one at least for the first semester, if not both semesters, depending on your major.
Okay.
And also your aptitude for that major. They'll assess that.
And
But yeah, they're available. So you go to the admissions office first, fill out an application. You can even do it online. And then you're in. You fill the application and you're in. Next step, see a counselor.
And do you suggest also talking to the transfer advisors at the four-year college, or
Yes, yes. I have a staff of 8 advisors that love to talk to people thinking of coming to our campus from a community college.
Okay.
And other campuses may have the same thing as an admissions marketing tool, where they will let students call them about questions regarding transferring. And some of these, if they're good, they go out and recruit at some of the community colleges. We visit over 300 community colleges a year.
Oh, okay.
And more than once, because we want them to talk to us too directly about what they need. And so sometimes we'll do one-on-one advising while we're there or do an admissions presentation. So their community colleges also has representatives coming from four-year colleges. And they have those scheduled, and they should go to the transfer center or counseling center and find out when those things are happening. They'll even have a college fair,
Okay.
for sure.
So if you recruit from 300 community colleges, that means you're recruiting from other states as well, not just California. Or,
Oh, yeah, if we were, we indirectly recruit from other states. We will take out-of-state students to a certain number, I guess. But right now we are confining our recruitment to the local community colleges. And I said 300 because that's if you are going out of state. We have about 116 or 17
yeah,
community colleges. I don't know what other states have.
yeah, not as many. I think California has the largest community college system in the country.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it. There were no more questions. So thank you so much, Hector, for joining us tonight and for informing us about the transfer process, which I think is important for students to have in mind who are thinking about that as an end goal. I just wanted to just say a few words before we end. So let me see here. Let me start. I think you can see my dog. You should be able to see my slide now. So just as we end, I encourage everyone to stay engaged with us, to read our blogs for tips and tricks, follow us on social media, and come to free events such as this one, and just upcoming events that we have. On Tuesday, April 30th, we have a session offering mental wellness strategies for juniors preparing for the college application process, led by our expert facilitator, Shantae. And on Thursday, May 2nd, we have an information session on college fly-in programs, which are fully funded, 100% free programs from certain colleges for high-achieving prospective students from underrepresented groups to visit their campus. So be sure to check those out. And thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you, Hector, so much for being our speaker today. And please fill out the survey. As I said, your feedback is important to us. So just a good night to everyone, or good afternoon, depending where you're joining us from. So thank you.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoyed this.
Thank you.
I would have it working next time.
Oh, no, it's perfect. Yeah, no, we were following along perfectly, but it just when you said photo, I was like, I think you meant to show the slide. So that's why we were following along perfectly. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, it's a pleasure meeting all of you, and I enjoyed it.
Thank you very
Bye.
much.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye-bye.